The opportunities that New Zealand has for comedians, they're very limited. How can I say it without getting canceled? Only a certain few get a lot of attention. Even though they don't have followers, the festivals here in Auckland, they always rejected me.
Really?
Yeah, man. I don't know why. They just...
Is there a sort of qualifying factor for that? Or?
Maybe I'm not white. I don't know. Bro, Will Smith commented on the video.
No way.
Yeah, bro, on TikTok. Last year, I got contacted by New Balance, bro. The problem is that are the casino brands that are the ones who are paying attention.
Bro, this
to
whole
it.
casino thing is taking off hard. Like, I've seen,
Bro, I hate it, bro.
What is it? I don't even pay attention to
They pay a lot of money, bro. That's why a lot of creators, they just get the hook of the casino because you get addicted to that money. Someone has said to me, she said, and this guy's wasting his time working in construction while he could be fucking acting. Yeah, man, laughter comes from a place of pain. I've done the weightless journey so many times that I've lost count so far. This time, bro, the way that I see it is just getting myself a little bit better.
What is the end goal?
I want to have a Netflix special.
Welcome to the Melding Muse podcast. Melding art and design, entrepreneurship, music, fashion, film, sports, gaming, and whatever's in between. We exist to showcase extraordinary people to inspire the next generation of creatives and leaders. My guest today is EDD RIVERA, father, comedian, tattoo artist, and content creator. We talked about comedy as a form of catharsis, working as a voice actor for Disney, going viral as a creator, transforming his approach to health and well-being, and much more. If you love stand-up comedy, this episode is for you. EDD RIVERA, welcome to the Melding Muse podcast. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, bro. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, carnal. I wanted to have you here for such a long time because I've been following your content for a while, but I know you're a busy man. So first of all, thank you so much for taking the time. I wanted to have a comedian, and like I mentioned to you, I really wanted it to be a Latino to be the first one. Bro, you're crazy. You are doing absolutely everything.
The next question is, then why am I poor? Everybody is like, bro, you do so much thing. And I'm like, then why the fuck am I poor, bro? Like, why am I doing? There's something wrong there. Right there. Must be the burgers. But
spending too much money.
Yeah, probably that's the most expensive thing. But now, thank you for having me, bro. I'm really excited to meet you and yeah, man, like, see what you got for me in this interesting podcast.
I want to start with something totally different, which I'm very excited about.
Sweet, nice.
And is you're starting your fitness journey.
Oh yeah.
I saw you punching the bag the other day.
Yeah.
I saw your inner Canelo come out.
Yeah, man.
And that was very cool to see.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting situation, and my story with weight ever since I've been in New Zealand. Because before coming to New Zealand, I wasn't fat, so I got fat in New Zealand, which proves the point that I committed to adapt to this country.
You wanted to fit in.
I wanted to fit in, bro, and I was like, oh shit, I need to get some kgs.
You wanted to fit in, and you fit out of your clothes.
Yeah, of course, man. That was it. That's what I needed, bro. I've had problems with immigration as well with my weight, so that's something that not many people know. It was all over the news for a while, and everybody was like, "The fuck? Like, I cannot believe that shit happens." I've been losing and gaining kgs, so I've done the weightless journey so many times that I've lost count so far.
Yeah, and
every single time I accomplished the goal, and I think that was my biggest problem. I used to just put myself into a procedure of like, okay, I'm going to lose like 50 kgs. And then I lose the 50 kgs. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, now I lose the 50 kgs. Fuck it. I started like getting complacent and boom, 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 gain it. Right. And the problem with that is that every single time that I've lost the kilos, I gain them back. And then I gain a little bit more on top as well.
Yeah.
So last time I had to lose weight was for my residency application, which... that's the one that it was all over the news and everything, because the immigration was denying the application because of me being fat. And then the frustrating part of the whole thing is that I found myself in a way that I want to make it a habit. Like I think I've never committed myself to be a habit. It's always been, I have to lose the weight. Yeah. This time, bro, I don't want to call it a weightless journey. The way that I see it is just getting myself a little bit better. Because even like, for example, I used to punish myself for like, don't eat the whole day, do fasting, if I don't go to the gym, I need to go. I don't care what the time is, I'll go. And I was just like pushing myself too hard. Yeah. Now I'm just like, okay, I'll try to start going 2 days a week. First week I went three days in the first week. And this week I'm doing another 3 days again. Trying to walk a little bit more. Instead of the unhealthy food that I usually eat, maybe do it once or twice a week instead of once every day. That kind of stuff. So I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I didn't even weigh myself, because that's another thing. I used to weigh myself and just stress the hell out of me and be like, holy shit, I need to lose this much and this many and blah, blah. And then when I did all the hard work, didn't lose anything. You get just stressed.
You get demotivated. 100%.
So man, it's an interesting, and this is where it gets so ironic, bro, because of the thing that I do with the influencer thing and the comedy and the social media. I get approached by so many brands and by so many like gyms, and everybody wants to help me. Like they see me they probably see me and they're like, this motherfucker's gonna die. Let's help him. But believe it or not, last year I had free gym for a year, and I just went like 2 or 3 times. So this time, I found a new place. I think one of the things that I struggled the most is because I don't have no one to train with. I've always, every time I would go to the gym, it was just by myself. Unless I was hanging out with the boys, then I would do the exercise. But if it was just myself, I wouldn't do it. So this place is called UBX, bro, and what they do, they focus on boxing, which is also stress relieving in a way of just beating the shit out of something always helps to kind of like relax yourself. But what I like the most is that they have a guy all the time behind you, telling you how good you're doing and showing you how to. That's another thing that I found it really interesting. When I was going to the gym, I didn't know what to do, so I would just jump on the treadmill or on the bike and maybe do some of the machines that I already knew, and that's it. But with the system that they have is that they have like 12 stations, and each station it's an exercise, and you do it for 3 minutes. Doesn't matter how many reps you do, it's 3 minutes. So I found it out really interesting because you could do, if you're obviously in a great fitness. I see some of the guys that train there, they fucking do so many reps and they're like, boom, boom, smashing it. Or like me, that I just do 1 or 2, just because I'm getting myself around it. And then they do their best to adapt the exercise to myself as well. In a way, I just want to kind of like get in love with the habit of losing the weight, just
changing your lifestyle in general.
It's the main thing. But this time I'm kind of like, I know I have to do it. Now I know I have to do it, but I'm not gonna punish myself if nothing happens.
Yes.
Like if I lost 5 kgs in a month, I'm happy with it. Like that's gonna be an amazing goal.
Yes, 100%. That's mainly what a lot of people. I actually went through the same thing, man. Exactly like you said. I came to New Zealand and I fitted in. So I gained about 25 kilos when I got in here. Mainly, stress related. I was a student. You broke. You just eating whatever. And very similar to what you said. It was always hard. Like you were always finding excuses. My suggestions to you, because I think you got it right in the nail in terms of like what changed for me was that I started looking at it as my relationship with food and with my habits of exercising as an avenue as well for my mental health, because a lot of people also associate that exercising and stuff is for your physical health, but for me actually it started with the mental aspect as well. Exercising helped me a lot with dealing with stress, anxiety, stuff like that, and that from that moment on I realized that if I made it part of my life, not like I have to exercise because I'm gonna get overweight or whatever, but rather it's my life, like this is what I want to do. Which is exactly what you're saying, right? Make it part of it. And the second thing that I think you're doing really well is that you're not setting yourself up for failure, A lot of people make that mistake from the get-go, like you said. And then at the tail end of that, they just like, okay, I lost the weight, and then just go double down on the food, and they lose the whole
The sad
thing.
part is that for me, and this is something that I include on my comedy shows now. I said that, like you said, people use exercise to, stress relief and anxiety. For me, what cures my anxiety and stress is eating. So,
which that's for a lot of people, actually. Yeah.
So I'm fine. I have to change that. I think people don't realize how easy is to generate a bad habit. Like it's so easy to generate. Like you just start from the bottom and it just builds up and just it's like a snowball effect. It just goes all the way. And for me, the interesting part of the whole thing was that my snowball or my issue with weight or with eating is that if you're an alcoholic, people can tell you don't drink.
Yeah.
If you're a smoker, people can tell you don't smoke, But if they see you eating, they're not gonna be like,
don't eat,
Yeah, maybe one or two persons will be like, bro, you need to lose some weight, or if they see you struggling doing something, then they might be like, yeah, bro, I think you need to lose weight. But it's not something that a constant reminder of that situation. So I received a few hates one time when I said this comment, but it's okay to fat shame someone. Like it's okay to fucking tell them you need to get the fuck up and lose. Like I understand if the person is sick and they're going through something, but if it's just a person like with me just creating excuses of, sorry me, I need to blah, blah, blah. I just got overweight because stress is so high. I understand that part, but there's no excuse to get to that point, So I think that whole acceptance of people that are way oversized. I'm not talking about like if you have a few kgs up, it is what it is. But if you're like me, when your body already has suffered a transformation, it's like if you do meth, if you do cocaine, if you do those drugs, start seeing the effects on the face. They start scratching themselves, teeth falls off, and all that stuff. With food is the same.
It's 100%. Yeah,
get massive. Right now the biggest one for me is that I have a 6-year-old. So my 6-year-old, he just follows everything that I do to the like he loves to exactly everything that I do. As soon as I started doing the comedy and I started doing the videos, he wants to do that as well. He follows everything that I do, and I've noticed that he is doing the same thing with the food habits.
Right.
So when I saw that, I was just like, it feels nice when you're like, you see that he wants to follow you, like your kids wants, because my daughter is also the same. She's not that close, but she's also a little bit like that. But with him, he's like that all the way, all the way to till the end. So I was like, whoa, I don't think this is the right, this is the right thing to show him.
Yeah.
So now I'm like showing him that I'm doing exercise, showing him that, it's he even said the other day, it's like, do you want to lose weight because you cannot tie your shoes anymore, Dad? He said that to me. I was like, come here, you little shit. Like, fuck. So it's true, and it's, it's something that, you have to kind of like make peace with it. And that's what I did myself. I was like, okay, fuck it. Plus I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah. It's just going to get harder and harder. Yeah.
So I think I'm a little bit close to the line of where like things is just something's going to stop functioning, so if I don't do a change, it's going to stop functioning really fast. So I had a big scare 2 years ago, and I think I didn't learn my lesson properly, which I think it pisses the shit out of me because I should have. Yeah. And I spent a month in the hospital, and it was just everything could have been avoided if I, taking care of myself, you know.
That's amazing, dude. Congratulations on that. Because the first step is just acknowledging everything that you said, your relationship with food. One thing I used to tell myself, because I was the same sort of thing, it was that whenever I had this urge to eat like something, delicious, like I love fried chicken, for example, I used to always just tell myself like, okay, I'm changing short-term satisfaction for long-term satisfaction. So I'm changing this thing that I know is going to give me this momentary satisfaction for something that I know is going to give me like the long-term goal. And I used to usually tell that to myself, and that helped me through a lot, And again, ever since I lost that weight, I haven't been able to get it back. And again, I just balance it now, I don't need clean all the time, but I do that 80-20. So
Yeah.
I love pizza, for example. I'm a sucker for pizza. And, so I eat really clean during the week. So in the weekend, I'm all in with the pizza, you know. So, yeah, man, congratulations on that.
Thank you, bro.
And I can't wait to see your change.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you talked about that, the sort of the friction of getting into the gym. I was the same, man. Like, if you don't have nobody to work out with, it's kind of really hard to go. And for me, I started going to a gym just like that with BFT.
Oh, yeah.
I've
heard BFT is really good as well.
And it's pretty cool, man, because like all the people there are very nice and the workouts are brutal, but they're fun. And there's the whole gamification aspect of it. You wear a heart rate monitor, and it's like, you collect medals and stuff like that. So I think that, especially for people that are trying to build habits, is actually a lot better than a traditional gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think sticking to that will be good. And if you're doing boxing, that's even better.
You need to be health accountable.
Yeah.
That's it. I think that's the best thing you can do for yourself. And yeah, man. I like I said, I really, really enjoy that part of it, of just someone yelling at me, like, come on. Like,
you can do it.
You can do it. Like, even though I'm completely fucked and I just want to go home.
Yeah.
It helps, it literally helps to kind of like, or even seeing, like, that's another thing that I like from those places, because you see other people, their progress as well, and you see that they're doing it good, or we'll see how it goes.
Amazing, bro. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see you back here again in a completely different shape.
Skinny, right?
Bro, let's switch topics for a little bit. I wanna talk to you about something that I thought was so cool. And it's the fact that you've been able to work on these Disney movies. You work in Coco, but you also did some work for Encanto, didn't you as well?
I was part of, like, I just
as a consultant.
I just helped with a few stuff, nothing major. Like Encanto was for my good friend, Colombian friend. His name is Mauricio. I'm the one who got him into the whole thing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It was so funny when we finished Coco. They were like, "All right, now Encanto." And then they looked at me and he's like, "Can you do it?" And I was just like, "Oh, bro, for the money bag," I was just like, "Fuck, I'm gonna do it." Like, I was like, "Yes, of course." I was like, "Parce que quiere," Papacito. I was about to go hard, like get my Colombian, plata plomo. You're just like fucking push it hard, and. and I was honest with them, and I was like, you know what, I may, like, because Spanish is Spanish, but nah, I don't want to be that guy. So I have a very good friend. His name is Mauricio. Blah blah. I said he's also a comedian, and so long story short, I was like, I sold him completely. I was like, yeah, he's like, you're a man, you're a guy, blah, blah. Just give him the opportunity, bro. And they were like, okay, well, if it comes recommended from you, then should be all right. The funny thing is that people don't know how I got the job, bro. Like, it's a really cool story.
Okay.
In Latin America in general, Mexicans, Latin Americans I think we're a lot like. I don't know why that's probably we hate each other. That's why. Because we just know that anybody, we're just the same. I don't know what it is, but in Mexico we say "fake it till you make it,"
Yeah.
And if you don't do, I grew up by this rule, and my parents told me that rule all the time. If someone asks you to do something and it's an opportunity, but you don't know how to do it,
say yes.
Still say fucking yes all the time.
100%.
So the job with Coco was, I saw a post that said they needed a Mexican translator. It didn't say nothing about Disney. It didn't say nothing about Coco. It says, we're looking for a Mexican translator. And I found it really interesting because it said Mexican.
Yeah,
I was like,
very specific.
Anybody can fucking translate, but why Mexican? So I said, well, I have half of the role, which is I'm Mexican. The good thing about me that helped me a little bit, or to my case as well, was that I could sell it off as, obviously, I have a bachelor's degree in education, so I used to be a professor back in Mexico, and I worked in a few call centers. While I was studying, I worked in a few call centers for American companies as a translator. Right. So I wasn't fully a translator, but I was you call it, it's a three-way call. So you're talking to, especially with the bank, you're talking to the bank agent, and you're talking to the Mexican person or the Spanish speaking person, and you're in the middle. So they literally talk to you and you talk to the agent, and it goes like that. So that was my job. So I had a little bit of an experience as a translator, but not like, I wasn't a certified blah blah translator. So anyway, long story short, I showed up to the interview, man, and it was so funny, man, because the first thing that I noticed as soon as I got to that office, bro, they had a big ass sign of Moana right outside, bro, but it was only in Tereo, and I was just like, interesting. And then as soon as I got in, the lady that opened the door, it's a beautiful lady. She had the moko kawaii on her face, and she was like, she looked like an auntie, She was like, welcome, thank you so much, blah, blah. My name is Tweety. I'm going to be interviewing you. Please have a seat, and I'll come back to you. I was like, okay. We had a chat, bro, and it was so funny because when we were having the conversation, I could see, like, the office, like, people were popping up their heads and just like, and you could hear, like, just people whispering and shit. I was like, fuck, this interview is, like, a little bit too, like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more private, like.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because I didn't know what was happening. So I didn't know how to bullshit myself into it, like I was like, yeah, sure. But yeah, she started asking me about like Day of the Dead and all that sort of things. And I was just like, okay. Yeah. Personally, I didn't in Mexico. I celebrated as every fake celebration Mexican that is.
Yeah.
Which is, we take the day off. We have some drinks, we blah, blah. But I never, in my family, we never built an altar. We never did like nothing like that. Until with my wife. My wife, she does celebrate it. So she goes above and beyond, bro. Like the whole house transforms. She built a massive altar with
that's awesome.
Yeah, everything that needs to go into the altar, she puts them all around like the way that it's supposed to go. She puts all the photos of her family.
Yeah,
she's like exactly what you see in the movie Coco. She does that.
Yeah,
you know how they have the just an empty room for that. She does that, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, she goes out and about. And the Day of the Dead, she cooks the favorite food. We have a dinner. It's a party and blah 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 blah. All that sort of thing. So we had already celebrated a couple of Day of the Dead. So I already kind of like knew what it meant and everything.
Yeah.
And just started talking about it. And when we finished the whole conversation, she was like, "Oh, come meet the team. We're gonna have a chat about you, and we'll get you a note." And then when the whole team came out, bro, it was like just Islanders and Maoris, I was just like, okay, well, wow. And everybody was like, "You're the TikTok guy. Wow, we love the tacos and that." And
also,
TikTok.
they already
knew me, bro. And
that's awesome.
The funny thing is that the lady that was interviewing me, she was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I was just like, "Oh, I do silly videos on social media and everything." And she was like, "Oh yeah, I don't do social media." That's what she said. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, the only person that I needed."
I see.
And I was like, "Well, hopefully the team talks nice about me,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, literally as soon as I finished saying hello to everybody and blah blah, I got on my car and literally on the way home they called me back and they were like, "Yep, we'll get you to a table read and just that." Obviously, I already knew that it was for Coco and everything, and so I was just like, I was buzzing out, bro. I was like, obviously, they were like, "You cannot tell anybody, like this is secrecy, blah, blah," until we pull it out. And I was like, yeah, definitely, I won't tell anybody. Obviously, I told everybody, but everybody that didn't speak English. So my wife and my mom and everybody. Yeah, the rest of the.
You couldn't hold that.
Yeah, I couldn't. No, man, I couldn't, bro. I had to go with the non-English speaking ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was an amazing experience, man. And I started as a consultant, bro, because they just wanted some help with the language. That was it.
Yeah.
And then one day, bro, we were at because I didn't know they were famous people. Like they were like really famous people. Like I thought it was just
the ones doing the voices and
everybody, bro. Even the director, Tweety turned out to be Tweety Waititi, which is yes, exactly.
Shit, right. Oh,
which
damn.
It was so funny, man. The first table read that we had, bro, with all the actors and everybody there, bro.
Yeah.
everybody was. It felt like a family dinner, bro. Like everybody was having such a fun. They introduced me, which the only one that was coming from the outside was the kid, which is his name is Manuela, and he was kind of like the outside one. Everybody else knew because they were old actors or like you know. And the guy, I remember, it was so funny, man, because there was a guy right in the corner with a big ass poncho and a hat and mustache and shit. And I was like, wow, this guy's really into character. And then while I was looking at him, this guy from the other side came out. And he was on a full face moco. And then everybody's like, oh, aunties. It looked like it was like a fucking barbecue, you know. And we started chatting. We did the table read. I was just like, at the end, we all took photos, and everybody was taking photos with me, bro. I was like, yeah, photos with the Mexican, and photos with the Carnal, and everybody knew the Kia ora Carnal, and Kia ora Carnal, and Kia ora Carnal. And I was just like, these people, like, it's so weird. Like, I think that's why they probably open up so much to me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hey, you know,
right.
You know, I was like, you know, whatever. And then I told my wife, I said, you know what? I'm gonna Google their names, and I had the whole cast, all the people that was there. So I had the script and everything, and I was like first person, obviously directed by Tweety by TT, and first photo that comes out as soon as you Google her is her holding an Emmy, and then the second photo is her with her brother, which is Taika, and I was just like, oh shit. I was like, and I don't have photos with her, and I was like, god damn it. And then the next name that it was there was Chelsea Stanley, which is Taika's ex-wife, but she's a producer for Marvel, bro.
Oh shit!
And Disney and all that stuff, bro. She produced Thor. She produced a few Marvel movies.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And then the third name was the cast, right? The whole cast started. Obviously, the kid's name. Then the second name was Troy Kingi, which is an amazing singer.
Yeah.
That I didn't know he was like one of the.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, then the one of the four third names was Rachel House, which is another like one of the biggest names in acting in New Zealand. Which is she's also director and writer and producer and everything. And I was just looking at everybody. The music arrangements were done by the guy with the moco, which is Rob Rua, which is another musician, which is like he's done such a lot amazing, and Pere Witongi, which is another artist that she does all the kapahaka and everything for New Zealand. And I was just like, I was like, damn it, I'm not gonna be in a room with them or with all of them at the same time next, because the next work that I had, it was just individually, so I missed out to taking photos with all of them until we did the premiere. It was just a beautiful experience where like we started doing the whole thing.
Yeah. And
one of the very few last days before they show us the movie, before they show us the pre-premiere, it was insane, bro. I was there, I was listening to the audios and just correcting some pronunciation things and blah blah. And then Tweety is like, you wanna do some lines? And I was like, what? You want to jump
Bro,
on?
you have the perfect voice to be doing fucking voices.
I was like, I don't speak Tereo. And she's like, who's asking? Just jump.
Yeah.
So if you watch the movie in Tereo, all the Spanish that you hear, it's me.
Right.
So all the background voices,
stuff,
everything. The first minute of the movie is the kid running around on the market. He buys something, and it's literally my voice. You can hear my voice. De nada, Miguel, blah, blah, blah. You can hear all that stuff. And then she loved it. She was buzzing out. Like, Tweety was like, oh, so good. Okay, now I'm going to show you this. And she put me a sentence in Tereo, and she told me, say it like this, boom, 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 boom. And then I did it, and then she was laughing because she was like, man, that was good. And I ended up doing 4 characters, bro.
Nice.
Just like filler characters, but I ended up doing them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, phonetically speaking, Spanish and Tereo are they're very
similar, that helped me.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that this is something that it's one of those things that you never think in your life that you will need it, or it's just I don't know if I have ADHD or what do I have that I jump around too much, bro. but the biggest thing, one of the things that I did when I was studying as a professor and all that stuff, bro. A friend of mine mentioned one time, he was like, bro, you should take acting classes. And I'm like, I'm gonna be a teacher, bro. Like, who the hell? Like, I don't need that. And he's like, bro, you need presence. You need to know how to speak to people.
Right.
And acting also helps it helps you to learn how to convey a
Communicate,
message. Blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I never did it when I was like, I got my degree, became a professor, blah, blah. I never did it. But then during COVID, everybody was, literally in lockdown. And I said, well, I'm not working. Nobody's doing nothing. I'm going to find myself some courses to learn to do something,
Yeah.
And I everything was so expensive for us. So I obviously I didn't have the luxury to study something. So I said, all right, let's look Mexican courses. So I went into Mexico's websites and I started looking some stuff. And maybe my New Zealand dollars can help there.
Yeah. I usually do that as well. When you need something, fuck.
Yeah. All right, let's go the other route. And I found Mexico is, for people that don't know, they're listening. Mexico is the biggest when it comes to movies in English that they get translated into Spanish.
100%. Yeah.
Mexico is the main one.
Yeah.
Everything
and it's the best, by the way. When you get the Spanish,
hostia, tío.
Oh, joder.
Jolines.
Especially like the anime.
Oh yeah, man. Anime, yeah.
For people listening to this, I love anime. And when you hear all the anime in South America is done by Mexicans, and when you hear the Spanish version, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
I think my favorite reference to that, to example, is that Kamehameha in Spanish is Onda Vital, and I love that. I was like, man, that's so good, bro.
It's crazy. And the names are different.
Yeah, also the names.
Gohan.
Yeah.
In Spanish, Latin American is Gohan.
Yeah.
And then in Spanish, it's just Son Goanda.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway.
So, long story short, just to finalize, I don't know how, but I ended up in a course with the guy who does Homer Simpson.
No way.
Mr. Humberto Velez was my professor.
Bro, that's legit.
Pequeño demonio.
Oh, bro, that voice.
Yeah, man. And he is an amazing professor, right? I got my certificate from him. So I did my voice acting, doblaje, which is, the dubbing. And it was amazing, bro, just to listen to him, bro. I could not pay attention when he was talking, bro, because he was just, you could hear all the characters that he's voiced. Because for people that don't know who Mr. Humberto Velez is, he's the voice of Homer Simpson, but like as a kid, he's the voice of Winnie the Pooh, of a lot.
And also, by the way, I know in New Zealand, like the Simpsons, that's not a big thing.
No.
But in South America, oh my God, like especially our generation, I think.
Bigger than the States.
I think it's probably bigger than the States. I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Like that voice that you just did.
Yeah.
brings me back to my childhood, man. We used to watch that every morning when I was a kid.
It's insane, man. It's insane. And man, he ended up being my teacher, man, and we video called all the time and everything.
That's epic.
Yeah, man. So I think whatever training he did to me, it helped me when I was doing the Coco stuff, because she was asking for everything. She was like, can you do it lower? And I was able to do it lower. Can you do it higher? Can you change your voice? And I was like, yeah, I can change my voice. And she was like, all right, change it. And then I changed my voice, and she was like, holy. I think that's didn't help my case, because that gave me an ego boost that it didn't, like, honestly, I didn't like it that I got that ego boost, because she said, and this guy, this is coming from Twitter YTT, which is one of the best freaking things that someone has said to me. She said, and this guy's wasting his time working in construction while he could be fucking acting. Like,
oh my God.
When she said that, bro.
Imagine if somebody tells you that.
Man, I was just like,
fuck.
Yeah, I'm an actor now. Yeah, so.
But was it, but like, actually, let's talk about that for a second, because did that trigger anything you mind to go, fuck, she's right?
Yeah, man. It literally no. She literally, I blame her. I blame her completely. By if my wife ever wants to find out what happened to her husband, it's her fault. No, man. It was just, she triggered, like you said. She was like, made me think about. Wait a minute. Can I do this? Like for real? Can I do this? Because one thing is to do silly videos on the internet.
Yeah.
Another thing is to actually act. And it was so funny, man, because that gave me the ego boost and confidence to go and join. I joined an agency. I went to join to be an extra in like movies and shit. And obviously, the funny thing is that this is where my comedy side starts. Every time I do something good, bro, or something good happens to me, something bad happens at the same time, bro. So as soon as I went and told my boss, because I used to work for Fletcher's, that was my job. I worked for the construction company, and I went and I told my boss, shout out to Tommy. He's like, I told him I quit, and he was like, okay, why? Because I'm gonna be an actor. Okay, why? Because this lady told me that I have the talent to be an actor.
Yeah.
And then he's like, is this the Coco thing that you're doing? And I was like, yes, I'm going to be an actor. And then he said, probably she told you that you have the face to be a voice actor, which is, and I'm like, no. She said, I could be an actor. And then he was, I love the bro. He was so nice to be like, why don't we do this?
Yeah. How
about instead of you quitting, let's make you part-time. Try to see if you can do something.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He was awesome. Bro, he didn't have to. Honestly, construction doesn't give part-time, bro. The construction doesn't have that. Bro. It doesn't exist. Obviously, I was an office worker, but still, it doesn't have that opportunity. Yeah. So for him to pull that thing, that's awesome. And he was like, well, don't be stupid. Just go in.
Yeah.
My pride didn't let me tell him that he was right, but the moment I went and got and signed up to the agency and did the whole paperwork to be an extra and shit and blah, 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 and an actor and all this stuff, the strike happened.
Oh,
with all the actors and the writers and everything, bro.
Yeah.
So there was no jobs.
Of course.
So luckily I didn't quit my job because I was still part-time.
Oh my goodness.
The only good thing, yeah, man. So the only good thing that made me kind of like survive the whole thing is that I was also tattooing on the side, so that kind of like could like help me both ways. But yeah, there was no jobs like that. I did a few extra roles, but those were like paid like fucking $50 a dime, like nothing. And yeah, man, it was an interesting situation. But that also gave me a lot of freedom to focus on social media as well. So I had a lot of openings because a lot of the boys that I was doing content, I couldn't come most of the time because I was at work, right? So I missed out on a lot of cool content that they pulled and they did and everything. But now that I had the free time, I was just like, let's go, bro.
Let's go,
and I started pushing. And the funny situation is that it went from not having, I think it was 2023 when that happened. 2023 when all of that situation happened. So I started slowly building up. I managed to start linking up with other content creators. The first guy that kind of like on 2023 like took me under his wing was Uzgang, and he was just like kind of like pushing me hard and helping me out and this and that. And then Uzgang became Uzgang.
Yeah, he's huge right now.
Yeah, man. He was when I met him, bro. The first day that I met him, it was I think it was like January something of 2023, bro. It's the first time we met. He was on like, I think on TikTok he had like 100,000 followers, some stuff like that. He was starting also his YouTube stuff. Like he was like about to kind of like do the YouTube.
How do you met him?
Through social media, bro. The funny thing is that I always give shout out to Terrell. I message all of the content. When I started doing content, I message every single person, bro. Every single person. Nobody replied. And the only one that replied was Terrell, bro. And he was like, yeah, bro, let's do a video. Which made me completely change the game of like when I met Terrell, he was like, bro, he's one of the most structured guys when it comes, like for him, it's a job. Right. For him, you could tell he's
he does it for real.
Like, this is my job, you know. I'm not here to fuck around and have fun.
Yeah, like, for sure.
So the first day I met him, we did a video for his channel, which was like a competition of sausage eating, which was a funny thing of like we competed against the fastest sausage eating girl, and we obviously lost, and it was just a funny video, like really, really funny. But he had like a guy with a camera following him around, and when the video came out, the edits were like insanely good, and I was just like, God damn, bro. Everything was like super structured, you know, like so good. And that was my first content creator that I was like, that's it. Then I went to Mexico, and when I came back from Mexico, I said, you know what? I think I need to start kind of like taking serious. This was the beginning of 2023. And I messaged Shoes on TikTok, and I said, hey, bro, blah, blah, my name is this. I don't know if you've seen my videos, but I only had like, I think I was like on 20 or 30,000 followers on TikTok. And Instagram, my Instagram didn't have, like, I think my Instagram was like 500 people. Like, I didn't have, like, I was just doing TikTok. That was the only thing that I was doing. No YouTube, no nothing. And I messaged him, and he replied, bro. He was like, yeah, bro, of course, bro. The funny thing with me, bro, is that I was getting a lot of views, a lot of likes, but not many follows. That's what happened with my TikTok.
Right. Okay.
If you see the numbers before COVID or after COVID, it's so interesting that I had so many videos that hit 1 million views or whatever, but I still was on like 20,000 followers, bro. So it doesn't add up. Like if you see the amount of views and the amount of likes and everything, it didn't add up. So anyway, I started doing videos with Uz, and that kind of like, obviously I got his followers to kind of like check with me. People knew me as a guy who sold tacos as well, because my wife has her taco business, and I was just pushing for her on her social media. So everybody thought that the social media was just for the tacos. That was right. It. Which is fake.
Bro, funny enough, I first time I saw you was because of the tacos.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like everybody knows that. And it's so sad because I don't even make money out of that, bro. That's my wife's, bro. I did such a good job for her business, bro.
You're the marketing engine behind the tacos,
bro. She's done, like, her business is established now. She can, like, she's ready to decide what to do, if she wants to do a food truck or go for open a restaurant. Like, she's to that point, bro. And me, nobody still believes I do fucking tattoos, bro, which just sucks, bro. But yeah, long story short, bro, it was really cool, bro, because that started, like, the numbers started rolling a little bit more with the boys. My TikTok went to like 50,000 followers, some stuff like that.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
Fuck all, bro. I think I'm on 670 something.
1,000.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. The one that disappointed me was where when they started banning all the stuff with the music and all that stuff.
That's right.
So I said, you know what? If TikTok dies and I keep working my ass off for TikTok, you know, it's not going to be worth it. I need to find a social media that it's very well established.
Yeah.
And focus on that. I tried YouTube, but YouTube is so much work, bro. Like,
YouTube is very complicated.
It's so complicated, from the copyright to the video editing, to the format, to everything.
The format is just completely different. Like, just the consumption of the content is very different. So it doesn't really work the same way.
Yeah. It's a pain in the butt. So I said, you know what? Instagram. Let's jump into. I didn't know Facebook paid. I would have done Facebook before fucking doing Instagram, but I don't know. I always thought Facebook was just for family and friends. You know, never saw it as like. Now
that's how I see it now, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even use Facebook at all whatsoever.
Bro, believe it or not, Facebook is the one to make money, bro.
Is that right?
Yeah, man. If you want to, like, make actual money.
Actually, let me talk about that for a second, because you're going through this, you know, creating amazing content, getting followers, all of that kind of stuff. In your mind, what's the end goal?
I just want to be with Mr. Beast, bro. No.
You want to have the Ed Rivera games.
I wanna be one of his henchmen. No, I don't know, man. Like, to be honest with you, the way that I see myself, and this is what I'm doing with my YouTube at the moment, I want to have a Netflix special.
Okay.
That's my end goal.
So that's the end goal.
That's my end goal. I know now they say that there's a joke going around with comedians that every comedian now has a fucking Netflix special. So, but still, like, I don't care. I just want to,
So stand-up is one thing that, like all this content creation and stuff.
I love stand-up. Stand-up comedy, bro, has a different... It's very different from content creation, bro, because... it's one of the things. The reason I started doing stand up is because I love teaching, bro.
Yeah,
I loved it so much. I never thought I liked it. My mom is also a professor, and she was the one that recommended me, you should be a teacher, because I didn't know what to do with my life. It was just one of those, like, in Mexico, being a teacher was shit, but it had a really good retirement plan.
Yes.
Not anymore. The fucking government fucked everything up for us. Thank you very much, Peña Nieto. He destroyed what it meant to be a teacher, bro. Literally, he's the one that it's blamed for the 43 students that burnt. I don't know if you've seen that. There's even a lot of Netflix documentaries about.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. They blame it on the cartels, but everybody in Mexico knows it was the government that did it.
Wow.
So those were professors, bro. They were soon to be students to be professors, bro.
Wow.
And when he started doing all this law changements and everything to fuck everything up for teachers, they went and Latin America loves doing strikes, bro. So everybody,
100%.
we love that shit.
We have a passion for that shit.
Man, we love it. We love it, bro. Especially if it turns into a riot, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And even our parents, right? Like,
man.
Our parents fucking loved it even more.
Man. So, man. In Mexico, the way that they do it is that as soon as they see that the strike is getting too much attention, kill a few. Just kill a few. Kill it down. And that's what they did. They kill a few, and everybody's like, all right, well, we're okay. Just fucking do whatever the fuck you want. So yeah, long story short, I fell in love with teaching. And when I was one of my last year as a professor, coordinator that came to watch my classes told me, bro, you're an amazing teacher. I love your classes, but just don't be too funny. It's not a stand-up show. He told me that, and it kind of resonated. So the first time I did stand-up.
So let me ask you this, Rob. because this is interesting. You say you love teaching.
Yeah.
And you were doing the classes to the point where this guy approached you and going, like, this is not a stand-up show. First of all, two questions, because I find this very interesting. Both my parents are teachers. My sister's a teacher. Pretty much everybody in my family is a teacher. First question is, what was it about teaching that you love so much?
The students. They were hot, bro. My wife was my student, bro. So.
Is that right? Are you joking?
Yeah, no, I'm not joking, bro.
You're not joking?
Yeah, man. I got fired from that primary school. Oh, shit. No, I forget we're in social media. No. I remember I did that joke in Mexico, it killed, bro. I did that joke in the States, it killed. I did that joke in Australia, it killed, bro. I did that joke in New Zealand, everyone was just like, I did that joke in Hamilton, fucking everybody was like, yeah, bro. No, she was my student, bro. She was like, true story. She was obviously, I was a university professor. She was studying her second career,
right?
So she's the same age as me. So, no, nothing weird about like. I wasn't messing up with the bow of confidence of being a professor and all that stuff. No, man. I what made me love teaching was the fact that I was an English professor.
Okay.
So that's why my English doesn't sound very...
I see.
Yeah, everybody's like, bro, are you American? Or are you Hawaiian? Well, now that I'm fat, everybody thinks I'm Hawaiian, which is a little bit racist for Hawaiians, in my opinion. What a fucking jab to the fucking, right in the face. But yeah, everybody's like... Especially, bro, I used to wear a man bun, bro. If you like look old photos, bro.
Bro, you look badass with a man bun.
I had a man bun, right? Yeah, bro. It's like I was about to pull out the ukulele, bro, and say, ooh, ooh. Like, it's not easy. So yeah, long story short, man, I was just like hooked into teaching. The fact that someone was listening to me and they were, because I was teaching English, right? So my class, the first class that I taught was, well, I think you also have them here in New Zealand, those like fake English class schools that they don't have real teachers most of it sometimes.
Yeah.
I worked in one of those in Mexico.
Right.
And I was teaching English, and the reason they hired me is because I spoke English. That was it. Like they didn't. I learned English when I was a kid in the States, and also I studied in Mexico. I did my whole blah blah at school. And anyway, this was people that were paying to learn to learn English, so they were really eager to learn.
No, me when I was doing that.
and it was so interesting, man, because I was like looking at their faces and they were like just absorbing everything that I was saying.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I can do this. I enjoyed, because I was teaching all sorts of students, where I had high school students, I had adult students. I also had on the weekends, I had kids.
Nice.
Which was really fun as well. Teaching kids was the best thing ever. I really enjoyed teaching kids because if you know how to get them, it's the best class ever.
So that's I was gonna get to that. So I'm gonna give a wild guess, but maybe is that your teaching style, like maybe storytelling?
No. We had a program. Like we had a.
So you have to follow that program.
Yeah, you had a program. We had a program.
You couldn't divert from that.
I tried a little bit every now and then, just to, especially when they would ask me, what about the culture? Because you cannot teach a language without the culture.
That's true.
And in Mexico, the culture that we teach is America. The funny thing is that America is such a diverse country, like super diverse, that you cannot teach. Like till this day, I don't think there's an American culture.
Right.
You know, doesn't matter what they say. There's not an American culture, because you cannot. When it comes to American, is it Native American? Is it African American? Is it Latino American? Like, well, what is it? You know?
Yeah.
Because the States is so variated. So it was really funny, you know, to hear people interested like that, you know. Or another thing that I loved is that the amount of opportunities that people get the moment they speak English in a lot of companies,
right,
in Mexico.
So seeing the results of your teaching,
right, so that was like, man, I really enjoy that, and
that's awesome.
And yeah, man, it started becoming. So I taught for 5 years, bro. I was a professor for 5 years.
That's epic.
And it was good, bro. It was really fun.
So this guy comes over and goes, "Hey, you're too funny," like that.
Yeah, man.
People are not gonna respect you because.
The thing is that I'm always I'm the same person wherever I am. Yeah. Like I try not to change my personality. If I look serious sometimes, because I'm fucking tired or whatever, but I'm always like, at the moment I always try to tell people, please don't take it seriously. I'm just a dumb person. Like I always joke too much.
Right.
Doesn't matter where I am, I joke. Like I'm the kind of guy.
In your nature.
You're like, bro, this is a funeral. You're not supposed to say that. You know, I'm that kind of guy. You know, like, and it sucks because I cannot pause it. Like it's a.
Your wife must love it.
Oh, she hates it, bro. That's why I do comedy, bro. Because I hold it all day. I hold it inside myself, bro, and I cannot make jokes at home.
I can only imagine.
So I have to go.
Can only imagine a Latina being really angry at you and just cracking jokes.
Oh,
she must be loving that.
She was like, bro. One of the things is that I don't have a filter, bro, and. Bro, the worst situations, I'm always like doing jokes and saying stupid stuff. So it's like I love it, but it's not like I always tell I need to kind of like teach myself to kind of like know whether, because you never know, bro. You never know. But even like, for example, one of the things that I found is that I am the same person with men and women. Like,
right.
I saw, I don't know if you've seen the movie with Deadpool, bro. He says I'm gender blind.
Yeah.
So I fuck around with everybody the same way, you know. Like
that's pretty inclusive.
Yeah. Bro, like it's so funny because I said, to me, everyone is a fucking asshole. I don't care what gender you are, just an asshole.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, man, like with me, and the problem is that you can't be like that, bro. Because I used to joke the way that I would joke with my boys, with girls.
Yeah, of course.
And a few times that got me in trouble. Not bad trouble, like people, but I would see their faces like, this fucker, you're like, too much confidence, bro. Like, fucking dial it down, you know. But it's me, you know. It's that's why now even when I get clients, I tell them if I'm joking too much, just fucking tell me to stop. Like I will not get angry because I don't know how to. Like I cannot stop myself. I can't stop. You know, and it's not a character; it's myself. You know, and it comes from my upbringing, bro. Like my personality comes from how I was brought up because I was adopted, bro. So I don't know my real family. I was adopted by white parents, or as they say, they bought me. See, serious moment. Fuck it up. I was adopted and never had like a bad situation growing up in a way of like both of my parents are white, so it was always that look of be like,
people. That's
and in Latin America we love to fucking judge, and
of course,
and gossip chisme is life, you know.
It's life.
So the moment people be like, this is our son, you would see their faces being like, I think this is the son of the milkman, you know, like, or you would hear comments like, where did you bought him, or where did you find him, or that kind of stuff. Or the typical joke of like, oh, did you leave him too long in the oven, you know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, bro, I know them all, bro, because they said it to me, bro, so I know them all. I even have like one time they were like, bro, this is a true story. I wish I was joking. Someone was looking at a family photo and it was like the whole family, like all of the family, not all cousins, pretty like everybody there, aunts, uncles, cousins, fucking boyfriends, girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, there's a dirt. Oh no, it's Ed.
No shit. You're joking.
I'm not joking, bro.
Oh my God.
I don't know if they genuinely thought the photo was dirty, bro. They were like, there's a black spot here. Like, oh shit, it's Ed. So yeah, man, and that I don't know. I think I was just, I felt rejected. Even I don't think now that I grew up, I think maybe they were rejecting me. I don't know what it is, but there was something there.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I related like, oh shit. So if I make people laugh, they like me. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna make people laugh all the time.
Yeah.
And that's since I was like conscious and able to speak, I've always been the kid that always joking.
Yeah. Have you heard of this thing called the sad clown paradox?
Oh yeah, man.
That's kind of like most of the most amazing comedians and funny people come from this place of rejection in some way or another, a place of tragedy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like almost every comedian that you meet that are like funny, as they come from some sort of this type of situation that you just described, was a way of connecting with comedy for something there that's like either a sense of not belonging to a place or sadness or whatever it is. So
Robin Williams said it, bro. I think Robin Williams gave one of the best. I don't know if it's his quote or he said it, but he said comedians love making people laugh because they know the true feeling of sadness.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, man, laughter comes from a place of pain.
Yes,
simple as that.
Bro, I have a quote here that I found around that. It says 80% of comedians come from a place of tragedy, and that's from Jamie Masada, which is the Laugh Factory owner.
There you go.
And yeah, man, you see all these guys, more of my favorite comedians, and then you go, man, if they didn't live this life, they wouldn't be this funny.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people the way that my comedy works around and how I found my true comedy, bro. In Latin America, we always say that, bro, and I'm pretty sure you can vouch for that. We say our life is so fucked, bro. Might as well joke around it. You know, just have a laugh about it. You know,
it's incredible, isn't it? Like if you go to places like Mexico, Colombia, and stuff, the situation there is so fucked. Like it's so much violence around, and yet people are making jokes around the most fucked up things. And
do you know the comedian Franco Escamilla?
Of course, yeah.
He has a really cool story about these Japanese people that went to Mexico to his secondary school to see them, to investigate them, because it turns out Mexico for the past I don't know how many years in a row. It's considered the happiest place in the whole world, bro.
I know. Colombia was considered the happiest place before as well. Seems like it's connected to some sort of violence trade.
I'm like, well, we have no chance to fucking cry about it, Just,
yeah.
That's why probably we don't look happy. We don't look sad because we don't have a chance to do it. But yeah, man, it's been an interesting change of life completely. I had a friend that he kind of like missed out in everything that I did for a while, ever since I came to New Zealand. And then I saw a message the other day, and he was like, "Bro, what the fuck? I saw just one of your videos. Like, what are you doing now?" Like.
Right.
Yeah, he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Last time I saw you, you were a professor, bro. Now, what is this?"
Right.
And we started chatting, and he was like, "Bro, that's a fucking 360 change. Like, it's completely like I recognize you because he still looks like you, fatter, but it still looks like you,
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, man. Yeah, it is what it is." So it's interesting, bro. It's really interesting, kind of like how life is, changing around.
Bro, stand-up comedy for me is one of the most amazing things. I also love it a lot. I usually I try anytime we see a comedian coming to New Zealand, we go, and with my wife we go to comedy nights, we go to Q Theater, we go to the Classic or stuff like that. I absolutely love comedy. And you talked about this road to Netflix. What was sort of your plan in terms of like, okay, I want to get a Netflix special, and did you like started writing a specific set and then putting videos on you? Like what is the road to Netflix for people who don't know what that is? I've seen some of the videos online.
Yeah.
But
so,
and by the way, I serve you a tequila just in case.
Salud. Fondo.
How was that?
It's good. It's not it's not the best one, but it's really good. Definitely better than fucking Pepe Lopez and Jose Cuervo and all that shit that they do. That this would be
from 1 to 10. What is it? 7?
7. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
That's a 7. Yeah, between 7 and 6. Obviously, if you ever have the chance, bro, try Herradura.
I've already tried Herradura. Oh man, it's good. You can find that one here.
Yeah, man. Yep. So expensive, but so good. Yeah. It's really good. Going back to your question, the comedy thing started just me having fun. That was it. Like I just did the comedy. Started. I would never write any of the jokes. I would literally get on stage and just talk, bro. That was it.
Really? You just improvise?
Yeah, never. I had like 1 or 2 jokes that I know, like just because like there was an interview the other day and they asked Donald Trump, what was your favorite movie? And he said that his favorite movie of all time is E.T.
Oh, right.
And you know why? Why? Because in the end, the alien goes back home. Blah, blah, blah. So those kind of like, those are jokes. Like
so you had like a little bit, but the rest would be sort of off the cuff.
I would use them if I see people not laughing, but
right.
Sounds a little bit cheeky to say it like that on my side, but every time I would get on stage, people would laugh. They would react to whatever stupid thing. Even I would come up, like, for example, if there was a stage where one of my jokes that I'll get on stage and be like, well, this is the first exercise I've done the whole week, like just going up the stairs or I won't do a stage dive, I promise, that kind of stuff. Like, just stuff like that, just...
But did those just come off the cuff?
Yeah, man.
Just off the cuff?
Yeah, just like we're having a conversation right now, and I throw in...
Just comment.
Just a comment or just a joke, bro. So then I realized I had a chat with a comedian that he told me, bro, good, funny, but you need structure.
Right.
And I was like, why? Because you don't know how to finish, bro. Sometimes
like the punchline.
Sometimes I will finish on like, thank you so much.
Right.
I would make the people laugh, like the whole set, but I would not finish with a laugh or with a punchline or whatever.
Yeah.
Then right before the first lockdown, I can't remember, but I did the French festival as well. So when I did my first festival, funny enough, I applied so many times for like the festivals here in Auckland. They always rejected me. Beats me why. Till this day, they still reject me.
Really?
Yeah, man. I don't know why. They just...
Is there a sort of qualifying factor for that?
Maybe I'm not white. I don't know. If it's credit score, then I'm fucked, bro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. They check my credit score. They're like, oh no, no, definitely not him. Yeah, he's fucked. But funny situation was that the festival that accepted me was the one in Wellington.
Okay.
And when I got accepted in Wellington, I was hoping that the Auckland got accepted, so I would have something to show to the Wellingtonians, you know. But without that, bro, I was like, holy shit, I'm fucked, bro. Like nobody knows me. I don't know nobody in Wellington. Nobody knows me in New Zealand, and in New Zealand, nobody knows me at all. Like I wasn't doing social media yet, so I was like, what do I do now? Fuck. And I literally cried and begged to every single person, bro, about it. Just like, come to the show, I message all of the Facebook groups of all Latinos, right? Please, this is the first time I'm Mexican, blah, 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 Latino, please come, please, 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 please. I don't know if it was my luck or the festival or whatever. I sold out the 2 shows. I did 2 shows.
Way.
Yeah, I did 2 shows.
That's incredible.
At the Bats Theater. And I did what has never been done. I did 1 show in English and 1 show in Spanish.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. And
bro, let me ask you about that. So when you write, do you write it in Spanish and translate it to English? You just do completely different sets?
Complete different sets.
Wow.
Because it doesn't work, bro.
What is it? Yeah, that's what exactly. That's exactly what I was going to. Comedy for Latinos is very different.
Yeah, man. I cannot come with the knock jokes to Latinos, bro.
No.
I need to talk about some real stuff with Latinos, you know. And
Yeah.
Believe it or not, bro, it's I love that challenge because it keeps me grounded for my comedy in a way of like, when I do my comedy in Spanish, they see my point of view as a Latino, bro. Real Latino. And Latinos get related to, fuck, it's true, bro. I went through the same shit that this guy just went through, you know?
Yeah.
But when I do it in English, bro, in English, I tell them my experience as a Mexican, bro. As a something general. And my jokes are more about me being fat, me, you know, doing the content, doing some silly stuff, being a parent of a Kiwi boy, you know, that one of my most common jokes is that his name is Diego, but we actually call him Residency. So that's kind of like silly jokes of like that anybody love that cheeky joke, you know. In Spanish, I can do the same joke, but it doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't hit the
people
same.
would laugh more when I tell them, hey, and like this is a joke in Spanish. Like I tell them that I always get confused with islanders. You know, with my own people doesn't believe me that I'm Mexican. They think that I'm islander.
Yeah.
And they love this kind of because that happened. There was a comedian that came. I was I wish it was it's a true story. His name is Jorge Alice. Jorge. He's a very famous comedian. He's done like Viña del Mar and all that stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he came last year. I think it was last year. He's like on TV but he's a very Chilean comedian.
Right.
But he's Argentinian, but he lives in Chile. So his jokes and his slogan is like the most Chilean Argentinian, something like that, right? So I opened up for him. He was late, bro. Like every Latino would understand.
Course.
He was late. So instead of me doing 20 minutes, I did an hour, bro.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I did an hour, which was I felt sorry for the audience because they did an hour of me and then another hour of the bro. But because we're Latinos, they got free stuff, so they were like, "Fuck yeah, bro!" Latinos and Jews are the same, bro. They love free stuff.
But do you have to you just didn't know you had to do an hour, and you just stand there?
I was like, "Thank you very much," and then I looked back,
stay.
And the producer was like, "Bro, he's not here." And I was like, and guess what? I'm back. And I just started like doing more jokes.
Oh, shit.
The good thing is that I could tell you without sounding a little like, me. I think in Spanish, I have like 3 hours of show, bro.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. In Spanish, it's my language. So I feel really confident and just throwing stuff, bro. Like even just telling you a story of something that happened to me. You know, like one of my best jokes when I first, because I told you I was in the hospital. I came out of the hospital and I was broke, like completely broke. So I did a show in Spanish just to get some cash back. And I call it, just out of the hospital, blah, blah. And it was me. The whole hour was the story of telling like friends, if I would tell them the story of me what happened in the hospital, bro.
Right.
And for an hour, bro, I literally told 100-something people my experience in Auckland's hospital, bro. Which it was funny as hell, bro, because I got into the hospital the day that the strike happened with the nurses.
Oh, Jesus.
So they I tell you, bro. I don't get bad, bro. I get worse. Like, I don't get bad news. I get worse news. That's the same with me. So because they didn't know what I did. I had a blood infection, bro. That's ironically, bro. This is true story. I got a blood infection from a cut that I had on my foot. I cut myself, and I picked up a bacteria in New Zealand that fucked me up. Which is ironic, I live in Mexico with all the shit and unhealthy, unsanitary stuff and all that shit that happens over there. Never sick, bro. Come to New Zealand to the cleanest place, get a fucking bacteria on my blood clot. So yeah, and it was my true story, bro. I told him as I was there at the hospital, joked about how bad the healthcare in New Zealand is.
Dude, fuck.
And everybody could relate. That was the best part, And so going back to the original question, which is how the whole thing works out with my comedy and the Netflix stuff, is I started writing more. I structure my jokes, especially in English. I had a really interesting story when I went to the States. I did a few shows in the States.
Okay.
So I did, my first show was in San Francisco.
Oh, damn.
And it was interesting, bro, because I went with the jokes that I said here in New Zealand, which is the typical jokes that every Mexican knows.
Right.
I'm pretty sure as a Colombian, there's going to be the typical joke of like, oh, everybody's Pablo Escobar. Oh, everybody does cocaine. No. So those are jokes that you've heard so many times.
Yeah.
But here people haven't heard them. So they love that shit. They love it, bro. So
yeah.
I went to San Francisco and I did my jokes about, being Mexican and New Zealand. Nobody laughed, bro. Everyone just like, I even got
no way.
Yeah, I even got one of those where it was like, I bombed. It was my first time ever completely bombing. Like completely, bro. Completely.
Bro, the level of comedy, stand-up comedy in the States. I went to the Comedy Store in Los Angeles.
Nice. It's insane.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. It's insane.
Bro.
Plus the audience helped. Audience in New Zealand.
Well, the whole setup as well. Like the way that the club is set up. Yeah. Bro, I saw, look, for $20, I saw Joe Rogan.
Nice.
I saw this Iranian guy who was hilarious. And I saw so many comedians.
Yeah.
And one of the things that my wife and I, because we both love stand-up comedy, so it's fuck, the level here is fucking insane.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said over there, if you're a Mexican, if you're a Colombian, you're not special, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's completely different than you're here, which is going back to your point.
Yeah.
Those jokes are not gonna hit.
No, and they didn't, bro, because everybody has heard those jokes before, bro. And the next day, I had another show in San Francisco, and I went, bro. But instead of doing those, bro, I did my fat jokes, personalized to me.
Yeah.
I even told a new joke that I found out when I couldn't fit in the airplane thing. It was just like a funny situation. And fuck, bro, they were laughing their ass off. It was so funny.
Okay.
To the point that when I finished the set, bro, I went to the bar to have a drink. There was a guy there, bro. He looked at me and he was like, bro, I never thought I'd see you live. I love you so much. You're so funny, blah, blah. Fluffy, you are the best. And I was like, fuck, bro. Another mistake that I used to do, I used to wear Hawaiian shirts, bro.
Oh, no.
I used to wear Hawaiian shirts. And the reason I wear them is because I had the man. But for me, it was like, I was going for, it never clicked that.
Is there a photo of you in the internet with a man?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'll try to find it for you. I'll try to send it to you.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, man. Just remind me so I don't forget send it. Bro, it's so funny, bro, because literally it was like you're looking at Fluffy, bro, with the Hawaiian. If it wasn't for the man bun, bro, it was like I was going for a Hawaiian vibe, kind of type. Never thought that people would think I was Fluffy. after that guy, bro, he was like fluffy. He even wanted to he bought me a shot, bro. He was
No way.
because he was wasted.
Did you
bro.
play along?
Yeah, bro. I was like, first I told him I was like, bro, I'm not fluffy, and he was like, bro, it's all right. Like I got you, bro. Like I got you, bro. He started buying me drinks and shit, and I was like, bro, legit, I'm not fluffy. My name is EDD RIVERA, bro. And he was like, it's all right, bro. Like I got you. I won't tell anybody. I know. And I was like, I had to leave when the moment he said, bro, how about you do your autograph on my arm and I'll go tattoo it.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's when I was like, I'm just going to go to a toilet, bro. And I gapped it. I was like, fuck that.
Fuck.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. And then just like Fluffy kind of like started getting stick to it too much. Like people started like,
yeah.
bro, you're just like Fluffy. Just like that. I said, you know what? Fuck this. Like I cannot. He is my favorite comedian. I love him. I've met him. I'm blessed enough that he even...
You met him?
Yeah, bro. He follows me as well.
No way.
Yeah, man. He follows me and just was a bit of a flex. Like we chat every now and then.
No way.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
bro, that's
man.
a giant flex,
man.
bro. Fluffy's the man.
Yeah, man. He's insane, bro. And just Christmas, I sent him like Merry Christmas. His opening act, Martin. We talk more. I talk more with Martin, bro. I was so sad because I met him when he came to Brisbane, bro. When he came to, I went. Bro,
I watched his latest special. Have you watched it?
I haven't had the chance, bro. I really want to watch it.
I was gonna ask you about that today.
He's a legend, bro. He, like as soon as I saw, bro, I was like, he's killing it, bro. He's now with the greatest, bro. Like he was a famous comedian. Now he's with the greatest. Like he's Dave Chappelle.
He's fucking doing stadiums, bro.
Bro. I saw him in Brisbane, bro. He finished the show like a motherfucking rock star. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
That was one of
he's
the,
on that level.
That
now.
was one of the. I was like, I've never seen this in my life. He said the jokes. He finished his set, and people were just like fluffy. He came out and he said, anybody wants another joke? Yeah. And then he started saying the joke of like the donuts, which one of the famous one.
Yeah.
Bro, the whole stadium was saying the joke with him.
No way.
It was like a singer singing a song, bro, and everybody just chanting behind him, bro. I was just like, what the fuck is happening, bro? Till that point I hadn't met him. And then I said, I'm gonna take I'm gonna meet him because Martin was gonna be my point of contact.
Yeah.
But Martin had a stage injury, bro, and he couldn't fly to Brisbane.
Yeah.
So he brought another comedian to open up for him. So I lost completely the whole opportunity to actually meet the bro.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna wait for him. I don't care, bro. I'll be outside of the fucking stadium. I don't care. I'll be, and literally, bro, I waited for like. The show finished around like 9:30, 10 p.m. I finished till 1 a.m., bro. And I was outside getting bitten by the freaking mosquitoes in Brisbane and shit. And he came out, bro. And I was like, he couldn't get off the car, bro, but he just came out. There was other people waiting, of course. I wasn't the only one. There was like two other couples just kind of like waiting for him. He comes out, he signs the autographs, and then he sees me and he's like, I know who you are. And I was just like, I froze, bro. I could have.
Did he speak to you in Spanish or in English?
No, in English. Right. Like, I know who you are. And I was like,
no way.
I lost it, bro. And I was like, I love your comedy so much, bro. Like, I don't know. And I was like, you're everything, bro. And he was like, I'll see you soon. He said that to me. He's like, I'll see you soon. And he leaves, bro. He shared one of my stories that I did on him when he was in Brisbane. And because this is a funny story, bro. Like you can see it on YouTube. On my YouTube, there's the whole progress of the whole story of how he went. But I decided to take the train, and to get from the train station to the events center, I had to cross like a field of. It said like it had signs all over the place that there's a lot of snakes here. Please, if you die, you die.
No way.
There's no help. And I was just like, I was making jokes about it. I was like, bro, it's like. I'm meeting my cousins like across the border, you know. Like I was just joking.
You die.
Yeah, and he shared that joke because it was a really funny joke of me, you know. Like this is how it is, you know, meeting my cousins across the border. Yeah, long story short, man, I met him, and then one of my videos, bro, which is the one that I'm so thankful for. I posted a video that right now is on 25 million views on Instagram.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And it's me crying. So before that video, I've never had been past from 10. I've always stayed. I had a few 7 million, a few 2 million, 5 million, never above 10 million views. Then when that one hit more than 10 million views, I shared it everywhere. I was like, fuck, man, I'm so proud of 10 million views. And then he followed me. And I was like, holy shit, bro. And yeah, every now and then I message him. And
which one was that? The first one from the, because I know you've done the whole series, the shower,
yeah, the shower, the onion. The onion was the first one. The first one. And there's still more to come of that one. I didn't want it to burn it all because one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of content creators is that if you get famous for one thing, bro, you cannot, like, obviously I'd be thankful, but you can crash really fast if you get famous for biggest example is that girl, the Haktu girl.
Haktu again.
She went like a fucking
from 0 to 1,000 and then
bro, she's like 2 million followers right now and everything, and now she's done.
She's being sued and everything.
Yeah, because of the fucking cryptocurrency that she created and all that stuff. But yeah, I think I there's still more videos of that one, more to come and all that stuff. It's been amazing, and I said, you know what? The opportunities that New Zealand has for comedians, they're very limited.
Yeah.
And they are, how can I say it without getting canceled? Only a certain few of comedians get a lot of attention here in New Zealand. Even though they don't have followers, they still get TV. They still get that ton of, they get pushed,
right, okay.
You know. I don't know if it's something that I did that joke one time. I was like, bro, if I have to suck a dick, just tell me whose dick. Like, don't get me guessing, bro. Like, I'll do it. Like, what am I have to do, bro? Like, I don't, like, it's just a dick. Who cares? But yeah, it just feels like that, you know. Like, feels like I'm outside of the inner circle, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that's why social media was for me the opening gate point, because I said, you know what, if I'm not gonna be in the inner circle, I'm just gonna do it my own. You know, I'm just gonna do my own shows. I'm just gonna do my own this, and that's what I've been doing. I produce my own shows. I produce my own stuff. Push the social media, and I said, the best tool right now that it's not gonna be deleted is YouTube.
Yeah. So
I had a chat with Us, which he's to me the expert on YouTube. I asked him, hey bro, what do you recommend me? And he started like, well, if you're gonna do a blog, you have to be consistent. You have to be this. You have to be that. You have to push it. You have to put videos. If you want to get out there, if you put every now and then, YouTube is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how many do I have to post? And he's like, at least twice a week. And I'm like, bro,
oh shit,
twice a week videos for YouTube is insane, bro. Like that's too much, bro. And he's like, you have to do it, bro. And the true testament, bro, and this is, I feel sad that I didn't start earlier. If I would have started earlier, I would have been different by now. I think I would have been a bigger YouTuber than I am right now. And the reason is, I don't know if you've seen his content. His name is Fats.
Yes.
Fats and Jax. Fats went hard on his YouTube, bro. He was posting like 3-5 videos on YouTube. Yeah. He was doing that, bro. And from no followers, he got to 10,000 followers in a month.
Damn.
10,000 followers on YouTube. It's a lot. Like, people don't understand how much, like, if you see it, or anywhere social media, it's still a lot, but still, in YouTube means that you are gonna start making money, because after 3,000 followers and certain amount of hours watched, you can get paid.
Yeah.
So that whole thing was just like, I saw it and he did it in a month, and I was like, man, fuck, I should have jumped into that fucking wagon.
Yeah.
And I messed up, but now I'm starting steady. You know, like, luckily I've been blessed enough that the whole thing is getting pushed. So what I'm doing now with my road to Netflix is that I either post something that is funny, like a funny situation, or snippets of my comedy. Like, I go and do an open mic or or do it at the classic, or,
Yeah.
or open up for a comedian or whatever, and just put that one on the Netflix. And then my goal is to get enough funding, enough money to actually produce a big show where I can tape it. And sadly, I won't be able to put it on Netflix, which is because unless
Well, you can pitch it. You can pitch it.
you can pitch it, but I don't think I will. Like, I don't think like it's not gonna happen because I know of other comedians that have the following, and they still are doing it. But if you're smart enough, bro, the biggest example is Andrew Schultz, bro.
Yeah, that's true. They put it on
he got rejected by Netflix because they said he was talking some bad comment, and he said, "All right, well, if you don't want it, fuck it, I'll put
Matt
it
Drive also put it on YouTube. Matt Drive's got like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
bangers.
And now the one on Netflix is insane, bro.
Yeah.
So, and bro, the best, I think he's one of the top comedians of an example that I follow right now because he never left, even though he got kicked to the ground, bro. He didn't stop grinding, bro.
Nah, bro. He exploded out of the crowd works that he was doing, like of just little snippets.
Yeah.
And now he's fucking acing it.
Shane
Gillis as well. Yeah.
The same thing, bro. Same.
Yeah.
Another guy that got kicked down and fucking pushed. Now he's. I remember when he's the first guy that ever in history that got canceled before getting into the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that's true.
And he said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to do. And he opened up his own channel, did his own sketches, bro, that have millions of views. And then he did his own special on YouTube. And now he's like superstar, like to the point that he even did that video with Eminem, bro. Like he was even in the video of Eminem and all that. Like, bro, that's insane, So I think social media right now is the tool. That's how I see it.
Yeah. So
for me, I said, you know what? F it. I'm just gonna keep pushing hard on social media. Funny enough, I'm also pursuing acting, but I'm just like, if it happens, I'll be amazed. I'll be so happy if that happens. I would still love. We just did that video with Theo Shakes, the one that I don't know if you just literally is my last video that it's on my social. Which where the buddy cop, he's like, Will Smith.
Yeah.
Bro, Will Smith commented on the video.
No way.
Yeah, bro, on TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah, bro, Will Smith.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Will Smith commented, bro. Well, I was like, when Theo told me, he was like, have you seen who commented on our video? And I was like, who, bro? And I went and I was like, what? It was like, fucking Will.
Bro, out of your audience, how much of your entire viewership is outside of New Zealand? Most of it.
All of it.
Wow.
Yeah, YouTube is getting pushed New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying because it's the one that is watching me right now. But Instagram, bro. Instagram is interesting, bro. I don't know how the hell, but I ended up going to the States, bro. Just
the algorithm.
Everybody thinks I'm in the States, bro. Even brands, bro. I've been approached by American brands thinking that I'm in the States. Last year, I got contacted by New Balance, bro.
No.
And they were like, we want you to be your ambassador, and we're gonna, bro, the money that they offered me, the money that the stuff that they were offering me, it was like an actual job, bro, just for doing videos for them, bro. And because I didn't have an agent and all that stuff, I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know how to pitch. It got just weird.
Yeah.
And it didn't go through because I didn't have a social security number, bro. Because they thought I was an American content creator, bro.
Oh shit!
And I was like, bro, they offered the pay. It's not gonna happen. So I can talk about it. They were offering me like $6,000 a month just for doing videos for them, like not exclusively, but just including them in some videos of my stuff. Plus, they would send product, so it was not just the pay.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, God damn it, bro.
Any New Zealand brands that approach you and have some more similar deals, they don't do it here, right?
Yes, they do it, but
not at that level.
No, bro. The amount of content creators that New Zealand has, it's a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a lot of us. A lot, bro. A lot.
Wow, okay.
And only the biggest ones, the brands are fighting for them. The problem is that those brands cannot sometimes afford them as well,
right?
Because they charge like the amount of so a lot of the smaller brands are the ones who are pitching to like I don't know if there's a tier level of content creators, bro. Like tier 1, which is the highest, it would have guys like Terrell, Oz, freaking Jimmy Jacks, Uncle Tix, all of those guys, like Judah, what's another? There's another Kitas, Busky, all of those like creators that are more than 100 something. Because New Zealand also looks at TikTok a lot. A lot of brands, they want TikTok.
I see.
So if your TikTok is really big, they pay attention to that. Instagram, it's a little bit iffy. It's a little bit weird. I don't know why. Now with the TikTok brands are paying attention to Instagram now. The problem is that are the casino brands that are the ones who are paying attention.
Bro, this
to
whole
that.
casino thing is taking off hard. Like
Bro, I hate it, bro.
I've seen fighters promoting it.
I hate it,
It's
bro.
going hard.
I hate it because it's so addictive, bro.
What is it? I don't even pay attention to
They
that.
pay a lot of money, bro.
Right.
The last time I got offered by a brand, by a casino, bro, to post just stories, they were offering me $1,000 per story, bro.
No way.
That's a lot of money, bro.
But what is this? I don't even know what it is. Like, it's just a online betting game.
Yeah. People put their money and bet.
Oh, shit.
You can bet-
$1,000 per story.
They were paying me.
Wow.
Yeah. Bro, I would have been bad. Like that. That's why a lot of creators, they just get the hook of the casino because they get you with the money, bro. And then
they
once
throw a
they
lot
get
of
you,
money.
bro, you get addicted to that money, bro, because you want more and more. And the problem with that, bro, I worked when I was studying to be a teacher, bro. I worked in call centers in Mexico. So a lot of the call centers in Mexico are American companies that outsource. So the best English speakers in Latin America are Mexicans because most of them are deported from the States, So believe it or not, I worked for Bank of America. This is a true story. I'm just waiting to write that joke on my included on my set, bro. It's a true story, bro. I worked for Bank of America in a call center in Mexico. And this is me, bro, like answering calls and all that stuff, like, thank you for calling Bank of America. Then next to me, we had Joselito. Joselito was a fucking OG gangster from East LA that got deported from the States, bro, because he used to fucking deal weed and cocaine in the streets and all. So this guy has full tattoos, a tear tattoo, fucking spiders. He has the LA, a little kiss in the back, all tattooed up. His name is Joselito, blah, 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 old cholo with timbers and shit, and the Kobe Bryant and shit. He would be like, nah, fool, I went to La Store. It was hard, vato. Me and my cousins, like La Ramfla, and we were parking all the shit, vato. And they would talk, he would talk like that.
Yeah.
And then he would be talking to me like that, nah, fool, like for real, I wanted to, like, going to La fucking like street, and me and my mama, and like English and Spanish and shit. And then, boop, call will enter, and thank you for calling Bank of America. My name is Joseph. How can I help you today? Bro, it was the fucking best thing ever because his English was
So
American.
good. Yeah.
But it was like, thank you for calling Bank of America. My name is Joseph. How can I help you today? Oh, don't worry. I do apologize for that inconvenience. I'll be more than happy to help you right now. Blah, 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 blah. And you see that, does that person that just called, can you imagine that? This fucking crook is the one answering her calls, It's so funny, man. So I worked for them for a while, and then I quit that job and went to another one. And we were doing all the bookings for Caesar's Palace. So I worked for Caesar's Palace listening to people that had gambling addictions, bro.
Oh, shit.
I did it for a week. I couldn't, bro. It was the saddest things.
Yeah, it is pretty heavy. Bro. I worked at Sky City in here as a bartender.
There you go.
And bro, we had to like go to training to identify gambling addicts. Yeah. And sometimes we'll find kids in parking lots, bro.
Oh yeah.
And we'll find kids just hanging around with like, because the parents are so addicted that they will just leave them outside.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah,
I had no idea about this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's one of the things that no casino wants you to know.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that, and this is, people don't understand this thing, bro. Casinos, how the casino work is that they will give you a little bit of money, and then once you get that money, bro, you won more, bro.
Yeah.
And the money that you won, you spend it again. But because you think you're winning, you never realize the money that you're losing.
That you're spending,
They prey on people that have lost a lot, bro. That's the sad part. That the casinos prey on a lot of people that are like they're lost completely. So because they're lost completely, bro, they get hooked really easy, bro. Because it's worse than drugs, you know?
Yeah, it's terrifying to see, actually. People don't realize, bro. We used to see, when I was working in Sky City Casino, we used to see people literally shedding themselves in their machines because they wouldn't want to leave the poker machine. It's horrendous. But so I'm guessing that's why you didn't want to do that kind of stuff.
Nah, man, I got offered so many times, bro, and I even now that I'm with it's called Frank Management, my new agency, bro. They were my agent. Her name is Darnell. She was very specific. She was like, "We don't do casino. If you want to do it, then probably we're not the agency for you, but we don't do it." Because in the end, bro, people don't realize everything that I've done so far for social media, bro. I've never made a dime.
Yeah, you don't monetize
nothing, bro. Nothing. New Zealand doesn't pay anything. In the States, TikTok had the creator program. That's why a lot of people made a lot of money from fucking TikTok and all that stuff, bro. Me, I also don't have the heart to be live on TikTok begging for fucking money, bro. Like, give us a like, give us a share, give us this, send us gifts. Come on, guys, one more galaxy. We can do it. Yes, and yet. That's not me, bro.
Yeah.
Even when I'm live to promote my tattoos or promote the tacos or whatever, whenever someone gives me a gift, I'm like, thanks so much, but don't do it. Like, just save it for yourself. Like, because TikTok takes like 90% of the whole fucking money. So if you give me $1, I'm gonna get 10 cents. What's the point of that? You lose $1, I get 10 cents. Thanks so much, but you know, and I personally don't like it, you know. But I see people that they go and love that shit, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, man, I think in a way, for me, I know all of these things are taking a little. I'm taking a little bit the longer route.
Yeah,
but it's the steady one, because if I make that thing a steady situation, it's gonna work perfectly for me, you know. Because the biggest problem is, like you said, you can fucking go high and crash, you know, really fast. You fly so high that you burn, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't want that to happen to me. So I'm going. I know. Even sometimes I chat with other content creators that don't have many followers, bro. And it was so funny, man. I went to an interview the other day just for an agency of like they wanted a social media manager or some stuff, and I said, I'll give it a try, see if I can get it. And everybody was talking about how many followers they have and views and shit, and everybody was like, one of the girls was like, yeah, I've all combined, I think I have like 100,000 followers within all my social platforms, and I think I have like 5 million to 10 million views and shit. And everybody was like, wow. And then when they asked me, I was just like, combined, I think I have like almost 200,000 and maybe 60 to 70,000 million views. And they were like, holy, like, why the fuck are you working here in the sort? Like, why do you want to work as a manager? You're already a fucking creator. Like, and I was just like, fuck, I've done, like, I'm progressing, like, even though I feel like sometimes like I'm not, I'm still progressing. So now I made a piece of that. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna continue. Like, I'm not gonna even look at the numbers. Like, some of my boys, they're like, bro, you just got to fucking 70,000, you just got to 72, 71, and la. I'm not looking at it. Same with the exercise. I'm doing the same. I'm approaching it the same way. You know, I'm just the way that I see it, just nonstop. Pushing. Obviously, that's why I didn't even share the Will Smith story, bro, because I was like, I got too excited. And it's like, bro, the moment I start going too high about it, if something bad happens, I'm going to, I don't want to keep just that situation. So I'm just going to keep it like, you know,
right,
just writing the whole thing, you know, taking my time and all that stuff. And hopefully, bro, I gave myself this year, bro. I said this year, I'm going to make sure that I can make my YouTube fully monetizable and that YouTube pays for my content. My goal right now, everything that I'm doing is an investment for YouTube. So that's the goal. If it doesn't work, bro, then I'm just gonna go full on tattooing, bro. I'll still do my content just for fun. Help my wife gets a big benefit for her business from me doing the content.
Yeah.
So I'll still do that for her and all that sort of thing. I won't stop the content, but it won't be my first thing, you know.
Because it takes a lot of time, man.
It's insane, man.
It's insane the amount of time it takes, yeah.
We just did one of the first videos that Terrell posted on his TikTok. The first video, actually, it was the first video that he posted coming back this year from vacations. His first video went to like 12 million views on TikTok, and it's me and him. That video is of him getting a tattoo, bro. And it's just a funny video, silly stuff that we did. I had a client that day, bro. Terrell was supposed to arrive a little bit earlier, but my client arrived late. So it was kind of like, in the end, they found themselves. So he was buzzing out. He was like, fuck, it's the Carnal and it's Terrell, fuck. So he was so excited. And I told him, I was like, hey, I'm just going to record this quick video with my bro. Would you mind waiting? He's like, bro, please. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'll sit here. I'll watch you guys. Like, if you want me to move, you want me to get out? And I was like, no, man, just have a seat, bro. We're going to record this video really fast. And she'll take us like 10 minutes, bro. So it's a really short video. Took us an hour and a half to do that video, bro.
Shit.
16-second video. Took us an hour to film, bro. Just from angle, boom, changed, boom, this, boom, sit down, boom, angle, boom, 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 record, do it again, repeat, boom, boom. For, obviously, he got 10 million views, blah, 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 blah. I was hoping to get some customers. I didn't get nobody. People still, funny thing is that people still believe that I don't do tattoos, bro.
They don't take that. They think it's a joke.
Yeah, they think I'm acting, bro. They think everyone's like, and it doesn't help my case that I've seen other creators do stuff with tattoos,
right?
But they do it for fun as well, just because it's funny. Like some of them, like I can pretend to be a barber, I can pretend to be a chef, I could pretend. They think it's a pretend thing, and I'm like, no, I actually tattoo. Like I do this for real. I had to, every time I comment, I'm like, no, this like tattoos are for real. Like I actually do it. Like there's a shop that I work, blah blah blah. But yeah, man, when we finished the whole video, my client Terrell left and everything, and my client, we were doing his tattoo. He was like, bro, I have so much respect for you guys, even more now, because I never thought they would take so long to do just a video like that.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and his jaw completely dropped when I told him, and bro, that's a 16-second video.
Yeah.
He was like, what? And I was like, yeah. You didn't film like 3 or 4 videos? I was like, no, man. That's just one video, bro, of 16 seconds.
Yeah.
He was like, oh my God, like, fuck me.
Bro, it's incredible. The people don't actually realize the amount of work that's.
Yeah, man.
And to keep consistent and, constantly.
And for free.
And yeah, exactly. Not even making a single dollar.
No money, bro, at all. No money at all. Like, literally, I could tell you, bro, every single dime that I've made from social media, from either a deal with a brand or something, bro, it has gone back 10 times to content. So it's not like I'm already minus $10,000 to $20,000 on stuff, that from driving to locations to buying props to doing this to doing that. Like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That it's a if, 100%. But if you make that video, bro, it's just
keeping the consistency, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. If you make that video, that's gonna change your life, bro.
It's gonna change your life, yeah.
Boom,
Yeah.
I've already, like, the one with the crying one was one of those, bro. That gave me another level of like traction on following and all
Dora
that stuff.
As well.
The Dora ones, bro, as well. The Dora was a funny thing, bro. It happened
by accident.
It was an accident, bro. I love that. I love, and those, I think, the best videos, bro. The crying one was the same thing, bro, because my brother-in-law is the one that helps my wife with the cooking and all that stuff. So he chops the onions and everything that we need for the tacos, right? the whole house smelled like onions, bro. And me and my kid were just crying. We were just like, oh God, what is this? Blah, blah. And then I told my son, and I was like, it's your uncle. He's hiding that he's crying. And I was like, oh, that would be a really funny like recommendation, bro. And I just did it, bro. Like I
immediately did it?
Yeah, man. I was like, oh, bro, let me try it. I grabbed the onion that he was cutting and sit down, and took us 10 seconds to do the fucking video. Boom, boom, boom. I posted it. Never expected to get any attention. Because funny enough, it's another thing where I saw, after I did that video, I saw someone did it as well ages ago. Not exactly as mine, but it was kind of similar.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, man, I thought I was feeling original, bro. It's like, I felt like, oh, I'm a genius, bro, you know? Yeah. But he was doing the same thing. Like, he was like, whenever you want to hide your crying, just chop some onions. Like, there was this kind of like almost the same idea, bro. And I was like, damn it, bro. But I was lucky that still the video
did really well.
Yeah, did really well. Yeah.
That's incredible, bro. There were so many things I had here that I wanted to talk about with you, but I will do it again another time.
Bro.
It's just such a good time having a yarn with you, man. All I can wish you is that road to Netflix, and that's what the email I write you initially. I would love to see you on Netflix.
Yeah, man. Hopefully.
And hopefully that's going to happen. We'd love to see a stand-up set from you.
Yeah, man.
And, you know, we'd love to see also grinding out this content.
If you have nothing to do next week, bro, I'm going to be doing some shows with Joe Daymond, bro.
Joe Daymond is the man.
Yeah, bro. We're
nice. Where are you guys doing this?
Out in Riva, bro. So we're going to be in the hood, bro. If you want to come, I'll send you the link, bro. If you want to come over. It's the first comedy club in the hood, bro.
Nice.
And it's on someone's garage.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Okay. And bro, that place has had amazing comedians already, bro. Like,
bro, that sounds like it's gonna be a good comedy already.
Bro, it's so good, bro.
That sounds like a good setup for a comedy show.
It's a magical, bro. We last roster that I was in, bro, in that comedy club, it was me, Timprovise, which is the bakery run guys, the guy with the pies, Josh Thompson. I don't know if you who else was there. Oh God, Joe Daymond, and I cannot remember if someone else was Keegan Gombit was there as well, and man, that's a killer lineup, bro. Like, just so good, bro. So
I'm in.
Yeah, man.
Send me the link, man. I'm in. Yeah, bro. Thanks so much for all of you who listen to this. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, bro, I hope to see you here again.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Remember to drink water and exercise, and peace. Thank you for watching this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, I'll leave you another episode here. And if you'd like to support us, visit themelsingmuse.com. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.